Hey guys, it's Katie here with Life Mundane and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm really excited to kick off our series on our homeschool curriculum picks for the 2022-2023 homeschool year. I'm really excited to share with you all of the fun things that we have chosen for next year. Be sure to subscribe because coming up here very soon, I'm going to be releasing each day a different grade worth of curriculum that we're going to be using for each of our kids. We've got kids that will be going into 7th grade all the way down to pre-K and kindergarten. So I'm excited to share all of those choices with you guys. But today we're going to focus on the group subjects. What are the things that we're going to be doing all together as a group? And I can't wait to share more. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Katie and welcome to Life in the Mundane. I am second generation homeschool mom of 6 beautiful kiddos, and on this channel we talk all things resources. I love to share with you resources that are going to help you in your homeschooling and help encourage you in your biblical parenting and how you can utilize those to their fullest potential so that you can make the most of the little moments. All right, so first up, we are going to do the most important subject, which is Bible. I will tell you, I will have a video coming out later this year explaining more of what we use for Bible because we never use just one thing. We view it as a very core subject, a very core to everything we do, not just a subject in school. And so there are a lot of different things that I will be bringing into the year, and I want to share more of that with you guys. But for the core of what we're going to be doing, for the main thing we're going to be doing for our curriculum this year, is the second book in the What We Believe series from Apologia. We just finished the Who is God book. That's the first one, and I will have a review coming out on that in May. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. So we're going to go on to book 2, which is Who Am I? This really helps us as a worldview curriculum to understand how to have a biblical worldview. It has great stories in there, practical applications. It teaches your kids how to use their detective skills to help them to see what are the worldviews that they're seeing around them, and more importantly, what is a biblical worldview. I highly recommend this series. We're really enjoying it, and I can't wait to dive into the Who Am I. Along with that, we will be using the student journals. This year, we chose not to use them, and you can find out more about that coming up in my review for the Who is God book. But for Who Am I, we decided to go ahead and use that. I've got a regular student journal, and I've got a junior student journal. I have 6 kids, so if you're trying to figure out the math here, we do have ones that are ready for the older work and some that are more suited towards the junior work. So I decided to just get 2 books, and we're just going to kind of work on it in tandem and work on it as a joint project. They have little coloring pages, they have word searches, they have copy work, and they have different activities and things like that. And so we're just going to use it together. That was more doable for us. So we're going to give that a try this next year. Next up from Apologia as well, we have Apologia Earth Science that we're going to be using. Here is our textbook for Earth Science. I love that Earth Science covers so many different topics in one year. We're going to be looking at a little bit on astronomy, a little bit of, obviously the Earth and volcanoes and the different plates of the Earth, atmosphere, as well as habitats and lots more. So I'm excited to dive into this for our kiddos for science this year, even a little bit on weather. Similarly to the Bible curriculum, we chose to get a junior notebook and a regular notebook that we will work on as a group project for our kiddos. I am really excited. We'll continue to do this as part of our co-op next year. We get together, we read the chapters separately, and then we come together as a group and we do the experiments together, which really makes it easier on both moms, and it actually makes it where our kids are able to do the experiments, because a lot of times if it's up to just me, I tend to forget about it or skip it. Next up, we have our history and literature study. Now this year we are trying something really different. Are you ready for it? We are going to be trying Sunlight D&E. Now, I did buy a used copy, and so this is an older edition in case you're wondering why it looks a little bit different than what you may have seen online. I grew up using Sunlight as a student, being homeschooled myself, and I really had a heart for it. I absolutely loved the literature that we read through. It wasn't the right fit for our family at the time, and it is very heavy on reading. However, I really wanted to give it a try with my kids this year. Doing the D and E combination really allows us to cover American history in full in just 1 year. Typically, they have one where you can do it D in 1 year and E in another year, so you spend 2 years on U.S. history. But we decided to do the combined version. Part of that is because my boys are going into 7th grade, and so we're getting closer to high school, and with that, I wanted to try something new and different. We finished all of the story of the world history books, and we have absolutely loved those, and I just adore those books so much. And so now that we finished that series, I was trying to decide if I wanted to go back through it, if I wanted to start something new. So we're starting this new. If we like it, we'll continue it on into 8th grade and into high school. If we don't like it, it gives me the opportunity to try out something different next year before we get into the high school years, if that makes sense. So we'll be using this for our history and for our language arts and our reading assignments. We will not be using the Bible portion, and we will be using a little bit of the geography, but I do have something separate for geography. There are a lot of readers and books that go along with this. You guys can see all of that in several of my book hauls. I've been working on getting the books, and then we'll also use the library for some of them. This particular history uses these two books as sort of spines to it as reference material. So you have the landmark history of the American people from Plymouth to the West, and the landmark history of the American people from Charleston to the moon. So we'll be utilizing these as sort of our textbook that goes along with Sunlight. So I'm just really excited to dive into that, and we'll see how it goes. I also think that because it is so much reading, I've been intimidated by it in the past, but because we have so many amazing options available to us via Scribd and other audiobook platforms, I'm really thinking we'll do a hybrid of reading out loud as well as having it read to us. And I think that'll help us actually be able to accomplish this. Speaking of geography, like I said, we'll do a little bit of the geography in there, but primarily we'll continue to use the book Simply Stated. This is a book, if you guys have been watching my curriculum picks for a while, we have been using this for years now. It is created by actually a fellow homeschool mom here in Wichita, Kansas. She is amazing. These are actually out of print, but I do have a contact for you. So if you would like to get your copy, you definitely can just reach out to me via email, and I'll just put it in the description of where you can email her if you'd like your own copy. But basically what it is each state in the US is divided into a different page, or sometimes a 2-page spread. So like here's Texas, and it will have what kind of topics are typically studied within Texas, like the Alamo, the Chisholm Trail, and cowboys. It has a book list here that you can check out from your library. It gives you a little description of each book and even divides it into these are chapter books versus picture books. But the idea is just to get to know a little bit more about geography, about the different states through children's literature. It has been such a fun study, and we've been doing it for years. We pick just a few different states to focus on each year, and we will read the books. We will watch a few YouTube videos. We love Homeschool Pop videos, the National Geographic Kids Geography videos, lots of things like that. And then during our science co-op, when we get together to do our experiments, the kids will bring together whatever they learned about that particular state and present it to each other. So it's just been a nice, gentle introduction to geography. As the boys are getting older, we'll probably need to ramp it up a little bit. But for now, I'm really happy with that, especially mixed in with what Sunlight is going to be introducing as well. All right, the next two things are things we're going to be introducing into our morning basket time. I'm sure there will be more that we will be introducing, but this is what I know that we're using so far. So the first thing that we'll be introducing within our morning basket time will be the poetry memorization. I showed you guys this a little while ago in our IW unboxing. You guys can check out the video up in the iCards or down in the description below, but we are going to be working on this poetry memorization projects during that morning basket time. I'm really excited about this. There's audio CDs that go with it, so the kids can listen to it and have that practice. They will practice on their own individually as well, but we will kind of review during our morning basket time. There is poetry in here from kindergarten all the way up through high school, so every single age can be involved, and I'm really excited about diving into this. Be sure to check out that video if you want to know more about this program. Also from that IW video unboxing, we are going to be using the Victus study program. There is a DVD portion to it, and then there's a teacher's guide and student work pages, but essentially in a nutshell, it is teaching your kids good study skills, teaching them how can they have good study habits, not just for studying for a test, but also how can they organize their material, how can they start using a planner and taking ownership for their organization of their schoolwork. I find I have several kiddos with ADHD or ADHD type symptoms, and so because of that, organization can be a real challenge for them, and they need that extra help. So I love that we're going to get to come alongside all my kiddos, neurotypical and neurodivergent, and teach them how to have these great skills, how to take good notes, how to keep track of your work and when your due dates are and things like that. This is something we won't do every day. We will probably only do it in the afternoons a couple days days a week, and then we'll just take the year to go through that as well. I would also love to go through some kind of financial literacy course with my kids. I'm still deciding between a few different options, so if you have a favorite, drop it down in the comments down below. But I do want to start focusing on learning some beginning budgeting skills and finance skills this year, but we may actually save that for our second semester. We really like to add something new in January just to spice things up, make things a little more interesting. And so I'm excited to look more into what we want to do for that January time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, be sure to stick around. This is just the beginning of what we have for our group subjects. Coming up here very, very soon, we are going to be having our different grade subjects announced, and I can't wait to share more. Talk to you later. Bye.